Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson, coming to you from Dragonfly Ranch on the big island of Hawaii. Mahalo. Thank you so much for being here. Yay, I love you. Thank you. So I said this was the lava flow edition on on the invitation. And that's because the lava is flowing. Actually, it's erupting and flowing. Lava is flowing. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, apparently people are losing something. Apparently people are losing something. Okay, no one can ever really lose anything. We've talked about that before. No one can ever really lose anything at all. Yeah, but it seems on the surface as if lava is coming toward people's home. You know, myself included. Myself included in that. It looks like there's a straight line of volcanic eruptions happening. They kind of like go right over there to fairyland. And here's the thing, it's like, I love fairyland. I think, if people have been hanging out with me for a while and coming on Wisdom Dialogues for a while, they know I love fairyland. That's been the place I've called home for the past 8 years. That's where Miracle Botanicals was birthed, our lovely essential oil business. I love it. And at the same time, it's not anything that I need to try to keep. I don't have to try to keep it. I don't have to go against the flow within. See? The flow within that's always leading towards joy. Always a joy that's there if it's allowed. And there's Braun. He's doing awesome. He's with us. Yay. So it's like when it seems like something like, oh, that fairyland is so beautiful and so sparkly, and I love to hang out in the secret garden and sunbathe for hours on end, and it's like, yeah, all that beauty, all that connection that was shared there, that doesn't get lost. That's love. That goes with us wherever we are. We can't lose that. See, it's like it builds upon it. It's like it builds upon itself. If we accept that there's a such thing as loss, if we accept that there's a such thing as loss, then it's impossible to see the blessing. It's impossible. We can't see it. And the blessing is right now. That's the secret. It's right now. It's in the midst of any sort of uneasiness, any sort of judgment, guilt, any thought that tries to condemn you, or, as Jesus would say, defile you. You just don't have to believe it. You just don't have to. And it returns. The energy body just automatically, you could say joy is bubbling up. Joy is bubbling up. It's who we are. Okay? And if it's just allowed, that's where it expresses itself always. I just got a note that said there were audio difficulties. So if anyone's having difficulties, let me know. Yay, I love you. Thank you. If anyone has any questions, please raise your hand. So one thing that comes up is being in a situation where you're encountering someone who really just wants to feel bad, really wants to feel bad about it, really feels like you should be feeling bad about it too, see? You know, in this particular instance, in this particular instance, I find myself in a situation where it's accepted that I have the right to be happy. Okay, you could be happy because your house is actually going under lava, possibly. You're on the fault and shit. So, okay, this time you're allowed to be happy. But next time, you know, your house isn't, or you happen to be a renter. I got that one too. Someone thought I was a renter and said, well, yeah, it's okay for you because you're a renter. Okay, it's not as clear as it was before. Huh? Very interesting. So, you know, the idea that you have to be at the ultimate, you have to be in the ultimate suffering for your, you know, apparent suffering for you to have a right to be like, it's okay. It's really okay. And you know what? That's not a problem. And here's why it's not a problem. Because if people don't want to hear it's okay, you don't have to tell them. See, as long as it's okay within you, as long as even their resistance is okay, as long as everything's okay for you. See, even the voice and the energy that says it's not okay, something that says it's not, it's really not. This isn't good. We that's like our free will, our choice to decide. Is this a blessing or does it condemn me? It's not about other people. It's not about getting other people on board with it or anything like that. It's okay if it's okay if other people are feeling sad about it, you know. For the most part, I just let people know that I'm okay about it. It's okay. It's okay. That's all. That's all. So what? So, all right. To start over, I went to I went to look for some property for some rental property from an agent, and she said, "Oh my goodness!" And I could feel like the heart energy was so sweet. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I feel so bad for you. And I go, "It's okay. It's really okay. It can't possibly be bad. You know, it has to be a blessing." And, you know, she kind of got adamant with me, like kind of in a lecture voice, and like, oh, it's okay for you because you're a renter. But people who own property are really suffering. So I said, well, what makes you think I'm a renter? And then she goes, oh my God, I am so sorry. And I was like, it's okay. Maybe you thought I was a renter because I was calling you to rent something. Yeah. And then we laugh about that. And then she says, well, you have a really good way of coping. And, you know, okay, that's good. Just that is what it is. You know, it's like the mind can only see from what it already knows. Okay, this is coping. That's what it is. I don't really know what coping means, but I could just kind of like sense that probably not. That's probably not it. But it's okay that it's okay if that's how she looks at it. Like I could just sense that to go further with her would just be confusing for her. So just let her have the she's coping thing. See, is you just sense it. So it's not like it's not like as you're feeling good and happy that you can't sense when someone boundary is up. See, it's fun. And then the conversation proceeds to, well, there are people who are really suffering, and I said yes, there are, and their suffering is really real for them. It's their truth. That suffering is their truth. But there's no need to interfere with anyone's truth. At the same time, when they're encountered in our experience, to just let them have the space to express their truth. No need for arguments, right? Let them have the space right there. Okay? And then there's not this idea that you have to convince anyone that they should be happy too. You don't have to convince anyone that they can be happy too. In order to be happy like this, a certain attention to the truth, which the average I'm gonna shut my I've gone black. I'm gonna shut my camera off then. I'm gonna say yes, and we'll just do voice. You guys can still raise your hand. So there has to be a certain amount of attention to the truth that most people are not willing to give, because other things seem so much more important. Other things seem so much more important. I'm needed over here for this. I'm needed over here for this. I'm needed over here for this. Oh, I can't pay attention right now because I'm needed over here. Well, you know what? It doesn't even matter if you're busy or not. That's not really the thing. It doesn't really matter if you're busy or not. But, in my experience, as there was more of a willingness to pay attention to what is arising and recognize where it's arising from and what it's for, I had more and more time for that, just to sit still. More and more time, it just manifests that way. It might come through in my request. Hey, I'd like to take this space. For me, it was every Thursday. It was a silent day. Hey, family, I would like to take Thursday as a silent day. I would like to take this space and be quiet and focus on my devotion to the truth. That's what I'd like to do. See, that's the only real reason why I could be happy. Doesn't really matter whether I'm losing something or gaining something. It's the same. It's the same to me. And here's the thing, like we've talked about before, everything we perceive is a fluctuation of energy. It's a fluctuation in the energy body. So everything becomes so clear when you recognize it is a fluctuation in the energy body. That's all it is. That's all it is. And so watch what happens when, okay, for me, here's part of my story. I was on the highway coming back from looking at a storage because there was a possibility of lava flow. So I was on the highway coming back, and I get a call from a police officer who says, I'm here with your 10-year-old son. Our 10-year-old son was home alone, which is common for us. And I'm here with your 10-year-old son, and you guys need to evacuate. You have 1 hour. And we were about 15 minutes away, or something like 15 minutes away. So we said, okay, we're coming down right now. All of a sudden, I notice a physiological change in my body. My heart's beating fast. Now my fingers are a little bit shaky, and I'm in the car with my husband, and we're both sensing this energy. And it's like, okay, what are we doing right now? We had one son who was saying, our 16-year-old was in town saying, Mom, please, please, please come get me. He was in town, really far from the lava, but obviously he was feeling scared. And then the 10-year-old down there, not scared. And the 10-year-old's by the lava, and then the police officer called, and then it's just automatically, we know what it is. You're staying up there, go back down. Just exactly what needs to be done to let it flow. Just exactly what needs to be done. It's like you go into a mode It's almost like you install a. Oops. It's almost like you install a program. I was turning around to look at you because I realized I'm not on camera anymore. It's almost like you installed a program. Like, okay, I'm in this mode now. Like it's a video game. Like, before I came on for Wisdom Dialogues, I was talking with Braun, and I go, you know what? Excuse me. I go, you know what, Braun? When I get back into that room, we're staying in a really sweet room over here. When I get back into that room, I'm gonna go into cleaning mode. He's like, you're just gonna install cleaning mode? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna install cleaning mode. I'm gonna go into cleaning mode. I just feel it. It's like this mode comes down, It's like, that's what's gonna happen, And it's funny because it is kind of like a video game. It's like you got these different certain powers. Like, okay, what needs to be done here? Like in Minecraft, like what needs to be done here? It just felt really good to me because, Tony's coming back from going over to the house and getting stuff, being over there in the zone, in the lava zone. He's going over there and doing all kinds of stuff. He wants to save the house and save the business. He's so awesome. So I support him on that. I just support him from here in this beautiful place in Captain Cook. I get on the computer and I make some phone calls and just support his drive in that. See, and he'll ask me, what do you think it will be okay? Will it be okay with you if I do it like this? And I just let him know, honey, you're doing this. This is what you want to do, and I'm just supporting you. You can do it however you want. It's always awesome. I know it's awesome. And it's been so synchronistic ever since, we got out really fast. I went back up to town, got my big son. We all came back down. By that time we had about 15 minutes. I just grabbed my clothes, my toiletries, and my laptop. And pretty much for me it's just like, well, if Pele's coming for it, she can have it if that's what's meant to be. I have my clothes, my toiletries, and my laptop. Pele's coming for it. Okay. My husband, on the other hand, has a different way, and these are not right or wrong or anything. It's not like one's better than the other. It's a different way. It's like, well, if I can collect all that stuff and take care of it, that's what I want to do right now. I'm not going to just sit around. I'm going to go do that. So it's like, okay, I support you on that, And so in that way, we don't have to even be doing the same thing. It just kind of like comes into fruition the way it plays out the most harmoniously. It's like for me to make the phone calls and do that kind of busy work from here, it's just so much more relaxing and smooth. It's a real smooth vibe. The people here are really great too. There's Barbara who owns it, and then there's a lot of people who live here. One of them's Maggie, who's sitting next to me, and she's a great gardener. Beautiful garden. So yeah, everything that happened, everything that arose was just arose all the choices, all the decisions about what was going to happen. It kind of happened spitfire, but it was just really obvious what it was going to be, what we were gonna do. It's like, this is what we're doing. And another thing that came up really obvious for me is this sense of, did we talk about this last week? I think we did. Resonance. Yes, we did. Resonance and lack of resonance, I guess you could say. I don't know. But it's like there's a resonant vibration when something is in alignment with your truth. Basically where you need to be, where you need to allow yourself, So it's like it's like for me, we had a dog. We have a big dog. I'm not going to say he's still our dog, but we have a big dog that's over 80 pounds, and his name's Roki, and he's beautiful, purebred black lab, and he was born here on the island. So after spending a night with him on a leash when he's used to a fenced yard, we said, let's take him back to where he was born so he can run around with his buddies. And so that's what we did. We got in the car and we went to take him back where he was born. And then after that, I looked on my phone. I checked Yelp. I saw Dragonfly Ranch. I was like, I love Dragonfly Ranch. I wonder if they have a vacancy. And they did. And I've been able to stay here and checking out tomorrow, going to Hilo, and still going on our vacation that I had planned with the Kea for Disneyland in Vegas. We're going to leave out of Hilo on Thursday. And we didn't know it was going to happen when it first started shaking. Kea and I we're like, our trip, very interesting. And she said, well, are we going to still go on our trip? Because this event was exactly a week. It was Thursday. Yeah, exactly a week from the time we fly out. So we go, well, we just don't know. We're just gonna wait and see. And then all of a sudden it just became totally obvious because of, just what had been shown to us. It's just shown to us. So it became so obvious that Tony is so focused, my husband is so focused on getting everything back, getting the business back, getting everything back to how it needs to be, that we could just add on our little 10-year-old son, and then that would free him up to do his thing and not have our living and our whatever we're doing on his mind. See? So he was just, I just found myself calling the airlines, not talking to him or anything, just calling the airlines, and they were able to added him right away. Next time I talked to Tony, I said, Bron's, we're still going to Disney in Vegas, and Bron's going with us. And I could sense the relief. Oh, thank you for doing that. Now I could just do my thing, It's like there's this focus of energy going through, and it's powerful. It's powerful, and it's like, if that's your, in Hawaiian, they say kuleana. It's your kuleana. You just know it. And it's like, I know my kuleana too. And it's like, it's like for me, it's just like love, love, love. And Tony's the same way. Love, love, love. And the way it comes out of each of us is starkly different. Mm-hmm. Isn't that wonderful? even when we were, at Fairyland, just doing, you could say, our regular life. Even though that's a fantasy, but what we were used to. I would be tanning in the garden and he would be gardening, and for us, that wasn't anything. There wasn't anything wrong with that or anything, There has been in the past, we've been together 24 years. There has been a problem with that in the past. And this is for a friend of mine who asked me, how do you get out of that situation where someone is looking at you like you're not doing it right? You are not doing it right. You're over there sunbathing while I'm gardening. That's not right. How do you address that? Well, I can share my own experience about it. At first I would feel guilty about it because I look at him and he's got all this power and all this energy is coming through in a material way, in a very material way. He does a lot of things. He cooks, he cleans, he gardens, he runs the business. He likes it. He does that. I told him I can just go for like floating around in warm ponds. I'm good with that. I could like live in the like whatever and float around in warm ponds. You don't need to do a bunch of stuff. I find myself in where it's like I am floating around in warm ponds all the time, just walking around. That's kind of like what it's like. It's like you're just gently floating almost downstream, to use the term.
Without resistance.
Yeah, without resistance, exactly. So at first I would try, like I even tried gardening. I tried to do some gardening. I like go, oh, I need to do this. It's the right thing to do. I need to do this. And I was so out of sync. I was so completely out of sync. The resonance was so off for me that nothing came out of it. It was just a ridiculous experience. Like, I mean, no, there's no ridiculous experience unless they're all ridiculous. Then we can say that. But it was just a really eye-opening experience. It's like, wow. And so then the funny thing is, because we manifested like just kind of like out of our mind. It's just whatever needs to be. It's like consciousness just brings that forward. So I'm noticing this not resonating kind of vibe, with the gardening. So I'm like, you know what? I know you like gardening, but that's just not my thing. It's just really not my thing. And I understand if, you would rather be with a woman who gardens. That's just not me. And I'm also, and it's also not me to be the one that you look upon as lazy or anything like that. I'm not going to be like with someone like that either. So, it's basically, am I that woman or not? Because I can move on. It's okay. Everything's all right.
Couples are not really meant to be perfect replicas of each other. How boring that would be.
I know. In case anyone didn't hear Maggie, she said if couples were supposed to be perfect replicas of each other, how boring would that be? Sounds like your home business is still unharmed at this point. Let me see I can't see the rest of that question. Oh, there it is down there. Great. You are going with the flow. Hope for sure. I'm just happy it's not the lava flow. When we resist what is, we suffer. Bottom line, in the moment here, I'm experiencing gratitude that you and your family are safe. That is wonderful. And thank you so much for bringing that up. Thank you so much for bringing that up. And, all gratitude to you, Scott. All gratitude to you. Any gratitude for anything, is to you. It's like, thank you. Because you feel a relief. You feel a sense of relief. Your experience of me is basically an interpretation of energy, an interpretation of a body sense. It's a body sense. The body's sensing information like a sensory organ. You're experiencing a body sense. And your gratitude is to you that you don't have to be upset, that you feel a sense of relief. See? That you feel like, oh, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. So the same thing is, say Hope and Tony's home was completely mowed over by lava. And Hope and Tony and all the people were in the house at the time, completely mowed over by lava. Look at the feeling it brings up. This is some really good work right here, you guys. Look at the feeling that arises with that. It's just a fearful feeling. It's a sense body. It's a sense body feeling. Hang out with it. Hang out with it. Let the thought go. Hang out with the feeling. Hang out with what is that body sense? Because, see, within that gratitude, there could be, I'm not saying that there is, Scott, there could be a little bit of, and it doesn't matter how much there is, it's all the same, a little bit of identity, unseen, not being seen. Yeah. Because it's like, oh, thank goodness this happened and not the other thing. But see, here's the thing. If you recognize nothing is happening, then you have the space to experience the lesson that's being given right now, and realign with that sense of comfort, peace, joy, all the stuff they talk about at Christmas time. And you can get really excited because you're going to get lots of presents.
I really like the part where you went into hyper-awareness and hypersensitivity. When you realize you only had a certain amount of time, you know, your eldest son is over here, needs help. Your youngest son is in the direct line of the lava flow. In the house, you have 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I love that you talk about that sense, that physical kind of tingling you get on your skin, and how your body, your adrenaline kind of pumps up. You step into hyper mode, and you know exactly what to do.
Yes.
It's like, I love that feeling. I only really experienced it a couple of times, but you know exactly what to do. What if we had that 100% of the time?
We can.
Because our brains are aware. Our brains are aware of it. I think I'm learning from Hope here. I think I'm learning from you, because I've been here 35 years, and I have, you know, been living on this volcano for a long, long time. We buy cheap land, and you get as much time out as you can before the lava comes. Like, she does come. She's been to my area. She's camping out, and well, she's kind of overtaking Hope's area right now. And she has a will of her own. I love those videos. You know, somebody leaves a little flower and a little offering to Pele.
Oh yeah.
By the side.
Isn't that the sweetest?
But by the side there. But of course, I've been feeling kind of sick. I've had this cough from the fog. It's that nasty fog.
Oh, good.
But then Hope reminds me, well, she's got this big smiley face. Here's the face of the whole volcanic disaster here. But it's like this little nymph in a little green dress and little strappy sandals, and her lovely husband, who came and talked to me in the garden before I even knew that your house is in the path of the lava flow, but just jabbering about his ginger patch and the different flowers. And these just lovely people that are living totally in the present moment. So I took a nice whole day off yesterday and rested, allowed myself a day of rest. But you've been a wonderful teacher for me. I love it when my teachers come in such cute little forms. Wooden them out of the garden.
Well, and here's the thing too that I like to make clear whenever I'm given the opportunity. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. That there's no teacher outside of you. So you can't. I can't give you anything. You know. I know you know. I know you know. And I'm saying it for the sake of anyone who might be listening. It's like I can't give anything to you. You know. You could look at me like I'm just some dumb little broad running around, you know. But you have you extract whatever it is, and you get it for yourself. It's you. You know, there's only one of us.
Well, and you allowed me. I like the fact that you just allowed me to have my sadness around your situation, my sadness around my situation, just allowed me to have it.
Yeah.
And it's like, there you are smiling. It's like, well, there's a different choice to be made here. It's like, wow, as long as there's breath in the body and life in us. So thank you. I love that. Miss Wisdom Dialogue Goddess. Very good.
I've been conditioned by essential oils and fairy garden spirits.
Oh, brother.
Yay. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Scott. That was awesome comment. Okay, what do I have? I used to garden, but I couldn't stand the weeding. Well, obviously it's not for you. See? It's just nice. And look at the I couldn't stand. Watch this. I like a little eye. It's just a little eye. I can't stand this. That's a little eye saying I can't stand this. What you want to experience is the resonance of it. The resonance. Just the resonance. Because you can use gardening as something to be in that I can't stand this. I hate it when, you know, even when that little voice inside of me says, oh, I can't stand this. It's just like, really? Where's that from? You know, it's not like that for me. It's more like I'm finding myself in the experience and not resonating as if that's my purpose. And you could say it like in a way, I can't stand it. You can say it in a way like that. And you may be, I don't know. But I notice that there's also a habit of, oh, I don't want that, because there's situations where you can feel that you don't have a choice. See,
you always
don't have a choice to walk away. Of course.
Always is a
Of
choice.
course. See, there is always a choice. There's always, here's the thing. There's always a choice between knowing yourself or believing in illusions. That's the only choice there is. On the physical surface, you may have a 3 or 4 or 5 or some other choices, right? They're limited. It's a limited number of choices, but many, too many. So you may not see more than 2 physical choices, and they both suck to you. Okay, say something like that. They both completely suck to you. Well, that's not the real choice, so it doesn't matter. That's not the real choice to be made, so it doesn't matter. If the attention remains on the fact that the choice to be made is only between who you really are or what the thoughts are making you out to be right now. Okay, who you really are or what the thoughts are making you out to be. That's the choice. Always, always, always. It doesn't matter how deeply you've gone into this mind image of who you think you are. Okay, like, oh my God, I really screwed up this time. Oh no, no, oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, and then any instant you choose, you recognize what it is. You recognize where it's coming from and what it's for. There's a willingness. There's a willingness to be with it, whatever it is, and let everyone else have their experience. My daughter brought a friend with her, a 20-year-old guy, and it was really interesting because he told me, I hate those people who, something about the lava. I forgot what it was that they were doing that he hated. And I said something about, he said, they're really, really wrong. And I go, well, they're not necessarily wrong. They're just expressing their truth. That's their truth right now, And he's like, well, I think they're wrong. And I go, well, that's your truth right now. And he's like, thank you for respecting my truth. And then he really opened up a lot to possibly changing his mind about that, to possibly making another choice about that. Maybe it's not, maybe I decide whether people are right or wrong. Maybe I'm the one making that decision and then making myself upset about it. I don't have to make that decision. There's no such thing. They're always an expression of consciousness, and you could say that I ask them to do whatever they're doing right now. I ask them to express that way for me so that I can express who I am. Everything, for me, everything that happens is so that I could demonstrate the truth. Is so that I could demonstrate the truth. So, lava coming, and especially coming right toward where I'm staying, having the experience of it coming right toward where I'm staying. You know how the geologists or volcanologists get excited about the volcano? They're like, oh, this is like a dream come true. I'm going over there to measure. This is great. It's like, this is wonderful. For me, it's like that too. It's just in a different way. It's like, oh, wow, what's coming up? What's coming up within me? What kind of experiences are, what's being brought out? What's bubbling up? Basically.
What exactly is coming to the surface in all this molten lava right now?
Joy. Joy is.
Nothing like a rampaging volcano erupting from the belly of the earth, spewing over everywhere, trickling towards your neighborhood, crunching through your backyard, barking in your trees, grumbling and growling to make you wonder, well, am I the kind of person that hates those kind of people that go on the lava and dance around with their cameras total idiots?
I'm on Wisdom Dialogue. Okay.
Am I the kind of person that just wants to get on a plane and fly to Alaska? Who said you're going to feel any different in Alaska? Because in Alaska, we'll have its own set of trials and tribulations, or tests, or whatever
Yeah.
the test is. The test never stops.
Well,
coming.
yeah,
They're
that's
always
not.
there.
Yeah, that's not really.
Situations are always there.
I call them opportunities.
Opportunities.
Yeah, because you know it's like you're not ever going to give yourself more than you can handle. You know, biblically speaking, from a Christian point of view, in case I have any Christians listening, you know, it's like it said God wouldn't give you more than you could handle. Okay, in that time it was a lot different. People didn't understand what God meant. God is basically consciousness. You know, in this dream, God is consciousness, and you are as consciousness relating with thought. Okay? So it's like you decide. You choose. You choose how you're going to experience this, whatever you've given yourself to experience. Okay? It's like this is your dream. This is your dream. It's like I saw on Facebook the other day, and it really resonated deeply, is, you know, you are not having an experience. You are the experience. It's like this energy body, this body sense is the filter through which everything is being interpreted. This body sense is made of concepts. And that's how everything's being filtered. So you could say that for me, things get filtered in a little bit different way. The experience gets filtered in a different way than it does for most people. It could be any kind of experience. You know, I was telling the story about the dog bite that apparently happened, like, I don't know, was it a month ago or something like that? And I was laughing about the story, and he's like, "You're laughing about a dog bite." You know, they don't get it. It's like, yeah, because I know what a blessing it is. I know what a blessing it is. There's no dog. There's no happening like that. I know what a blessing it is, so that's how the story is, you know. It trips people out sometimes who don't understand where that kind of laughter is really coming from. You know, ever since I was young, it was like this idea that, wow, something must be wrong, and she must be like not dealing with it or something, because it's just funny to her. But, you know, it's like all of the thoughts about the dog being wrong, what I'm going to do next time, like there's going to be a next time that I'm going to encounter the dog and he's going to be in a biting mood, you know, like what the neighbors are wrong. I got to go say something to the neighbors. It's like in that moment, all that relief came. It's like, thank you, dog, whatever your name is. Thank you. Because that was the opportunity. I experienced an energy body being frightened, defensive, projectile, and then in that instant of healing, that's where the gratitude was. It's like, oh, thank you for letting me see, because it's not going to happen without seeing. So it's like the only opportunity to see is this instant. So whatever thoughts are crossing the awareness, whatever energy is arising to make it look like things are taking material form, including our bodies, notice what it is. You know, I was, while I was cleaning, I had the thought, because I got inspired, and I stopped cleaning and started writing something, you know, and got the thought that, hey, I'm supposed to be cleaning. What are you doing? Not doing that, not doing that. And it's just like, oh, and just laugh. And it's instantly back to watching the hands move. Back to that perspective of watching the hands move gracefully and do what they do gracefully. Not
your
as
attention back on your cleaning, grasshopper.
Yay! Yeah, back on your clean. And the funny thing is, you know, the cleaning is like Tony says, he does all the cleaning because he's watched me clean, and it's like it's a slow just dance, and you know, it's like, okay, if I'm cleaning, I'm not doing much of anything else. That's like, if I'm cleaning, then the cleaning is gonna go on, and not much else. because it takes a while. And so he just started doing all the cleaning. And so it's always fun when I go back into cleaning mode, when I did install the cleaning program another time when he was down so much. Tony was actually, you don't know this, Maggie, but Tony was just a couple of months ago completely down, as in all he could do was bear crawl on the floor. Like his back was just like
physically out.
Physically, yeah, completely. And so I went into full cleaning mode in that instance, and other modes too, like driving kids to school mode and being on Tony's schedule mode. And and it's all for fun. It's like that's awesome.
Oh, you got to experience Tony's reality for a while.
Well, yeah, experience
in your own body.
In my own way too. It's definitely going to be a different experience, and also experience the opportunity to nurture him in that way. Like, it's okay, you can stay like that as long as you need. And at the same time, it's not even real. This is not even real. It's a fluctuation of thought. When we recognize that it's not even real, we can laugh about it. We can have jokes about it, and we can have fun with it, and everything works out. And I gotta say, as far as like getting like any kind of triggering things, it's funny. It's so different for me. As far as getting any kind of triggering things, I could say that there are more triggering opportunities in my own energy field when Tony was down than when the lava's coming to hit the house. He's quite the dude. He's quite. Lori laughs her butt off.
Invincible.
He's amazing. Yeah, because it's like, oh wow, all of any kind of safety and stability you felt for having that guy, like that's just like completely freaking out the window. You have to rely on the safety that you are always. So it's like giving me that opportunity to rely on that safety that I am, that support that I am. I know, all the support that comes out of Tony, it appears to come out of Tony's body. I know, and he knows. It's one action of consciousness, and each of us are just grateful for however it plays out. See, so it's like these wonderful. I knew as soon as Tony went down like that, it was immediate, like, deep thank you, because I knew. Everything was, I'm going to get a really different perspective right now. So that was a fun one. And, I got to say, that was just a few months ago. And then this one, it just seems really super easeful. Not too many are, never too many, of course, but not nearly as many triggering opportunities.
I always remember those stories from Mother Teresa. Every morning she used to have her nuns kind of go over whatever was going on, what needs attention to. But instead of calling them problems, she would call them gifts.
Yes.
So Mother Teresa would say, okay, what do we have this morning? And the nuns would say, oh, sister, we have rather a large gift this morning.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Maybe Tony going down with even a larger gift than volcano cutting loose.
Yes.
That's a pretty huge gift there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
I like the way they thought of everything as a gift, as an opportunity. It
wasn't
a problem. We think,
yeah.
We think of problems that have to be solved.
Yes.
Gifts and opportunities, ways for us to be creative.
Yeah, that's it, because and one thing another thing I heard before that totally resonates with me is we are creativity in this stream. We are creativity itself. So the house, if the house needs to be taken by lava, whether the house needs to be taken by lava or not, I do not have a say in that. I could have no idea which way is best. I really don't know. I can't say I do. I can't say I know. For me, all the guidance that came was clothes, toiletries, computer. Let her go. Mm-hmm. And that felt so good. It was like, oh, No need, because it's all in me. The creativity is coming from me. You know, it's not like 100% chance that my house is going to be mowed over by lava. It's never possible. And possibilities present themselves, but the cause and effect is not on the surface. The cause of an effect is completely in the mind, and it could change anytime. Now, lava can change course in any instant. That doesn't mean I'm going to start praying for it to change course, okay? Because I actually don't mind what happens. If I were to start praying for it to change course, I would not feel resonant. That's why I won't do it. There's no resonance. It's not that I think it's wrong. Anyone who wants to pray can. I'm stoked. Thank you. And does it help? Yes. Yes, it does. It has an effect because you are directing your energy toward that. You are directing your energy toward that. It's power. It's powerful. If you're directing your energy with faith, it's powerful. It's powerful for manifestations. I do not need the manifestation to feel good. You may need the manifestation to feel good. If you need the manifestation to feel good, by all means, pray for my house to survive. So hooray. Oh, Lori, I got a beautiful Lori hand. Oh my goodness. And I see some other stuff here. Okay, that's all. Julia, thank you so much. Hope so liberating. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Julia. Or Julia. Julia. I think it's the same in a different language. I love you. Thank you. I'm so used to looking at it. Isn't it funny? I talk to them. Okay. Lori raised her beautiful hand. Unmute Lori. Lori, you are unmuted.
Okay. Okay. So you didn't see that I had written a while ago when you talked about the Thursday silent days. So you stopped doing that?
Wait a minute. Oh, Thursday silent days. What are you saying? I stopped doing that.
You stopped doing it?
No, I didn't stop. I never did it in the first place. It's just something that arises.
Well,
And a lot of Thursdays are silent. Not all of them, but a lot of Thursdays are silent. And on that particular Thursday with the lava flow, there was an intrusion earlier, and there was information that it's a good idea to make plans in case the lava comes. And Tony said he could use my support on Thursday. So that's what happened. That's what apparently happened and transpired there. But that was going to be a silent day. The next two are not, because I'm going to be traveling, baby. But that doesn't matter either. I don't have to have the silent day. If the choice for something else is more resonant, then that's where it is. It's more resonant. I don't go with a concept like, oh, you didn't have your silent day. Oh no, now you're not going to be able to be loving. Now you're not going to be able to connect. It is not true, because the silence is always there. And all those silent days, there's no such thing as day, but in experiencing all that silence, over time like that, that's something that's never lost. It's amazing how much peace and understanding, excuse me, that was a pretty good one. Peace and understanding and surrender came through that, and awareness, so that anything can arise, and it could be met with the same compassion that I know is available to everyone all the time. See?
I do see.
Was that your only question?
Well, what I wanted to know was, I'm thinking about doing the same thing. And because I've now noticed the silence, and I want more of it. Yeah. Where I avoided it like the plague. And now that I see that's home.
That's home. That's right. That's home.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can carry, it's like you have it in you, but when you feel that, I felt it when I was going to Vipassana, the 10-hour a day meditation, when I was called to Vipassana, it was like that, Lori, just like you're describing, like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, look into that. When that feeling is there. When that feeling isn't there and you just think you should do it, it's a completely different experience.
Right.
I know plenty of people who have gone to Vipassana and have not gotten the same thing out of it.
Well,
Okay, not even close. They're still see all kinds of resistance and tension.
well, that's what happened to me before when meditation was, you know, you've got the only way you got to go to be silent, you've got to meditate. So, of course, if I'm forcing myself to sit down, the thoughts are bombarding me with, yeah, and it just drives, the body is completely uncomfortable. But with this new thing that I'm doing, she's got me literally wanting more because it feels so good and it's expanding. I feel it expanding, and that's what's making all that the resonance come up from deep inside and being healed. I mean, oh God, I just want it all. I want it all. I want it. I'm saying bring it, and I'm saying show me, and it's okay.
Okay, so what's coming up right now is be a little cautious about bring it. Okay, just be a little cautious about that. Be more in a sense of, because see, here's the thing: when you tell the mind bring it, the mind is ridiculously powerful, and so you're asking for something that might be like more than you have to do.
Oh, so
more than you like, more work than you actually need. Like it's like more of a shock to your nervous system than would otherwise be necessary, so to speak. See, so instead of bringing it, it's like I'm here.
But it's not going to bring more than I can't handle.
Obviously, and if you want it fiery like that, then go ahead. And what I mean by fiery, for me, is like lava coming isn't even fiery, but only because of seeing through it, and that's been over a period of seeing. See,
Right.
so it would be awesome. Yeah, it would always be healing. Always, everything is healing. And no need, if you don't, if you like it lighter, you can have it lighter and also get just as much, or even maybe even more, because you wouldn't have as much of a tendency to slip back into delusion. See?
Okay. So
because what happened last time with your, Lori told me earlier about her awakening. What did you say, it was 20 years ago, Lori?
exactly, this October will be exactly. It was 1998. Yeah.
Yeah, so Lori told me 20 years ago she had this awakening, and then people started telling her that she was bipolar because it was like she had it and lost it, like that, So it's like in this case, it's like when this opening happens, where there's this need for silence. Here's how they put it in Vipassana, and here's how it's coming up now. Is it's like it's a little seed that you planted. It's like a little plant. It's like a little seedling, and you don't have to take in a lot of information right now. You don't have to take in a lot of fire, a lot of drama. You don't have to try to make that. You'll get plenty. You'll get all you need. You'll get just enough just by watching. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to ask for, like, bring it on. That kind of thing can also and will also, because you are you're dealing with the mind, and the mind is so powerful. And I've heard from people who have had experiences too, where they say, bring it on. And then it brings it on. It's like, oh shit, no.
Say gently. Can we say gently?
It doesn't get gentle for them. You know what I mean? You know what
Mm.
I mean? So it's kind of like having an experience where I feel like, oh, I feel like I'm so strong. Give me anything. And then the opposite comes. Oh, I feel like oh man, no, it's telling me I'm not that, you know. And here's the thing about experience too, is don't ever let it tell you that you're not who you are, because that's always what it's going to try to do. It's always going to try to tell you that you can't, you know, you're not who you are. Like the people coming to you and telling you that you're bipolar.
Oh my God, that today, that there would be not even a rise that wouldn't even, I mean, but I didn't know what happened to me.
Yeah.
I literally was, what the life was completely, all the thoughts of being stupid, unworthy, all that shit was gone. It was like
Yeah.
a weight was lifted and I was bouncing off the walls. I was literally bouncing off the walls is what my husband, he's afraid I'm going to go there again, but it's been a gradual,
Mhm.
um, gradual understanding, which I was explaining earlier was all about the mind first. I mean, I got it down intellectually, but
Yeah.
the body part was not what was. And now that that's happening through this new thing, holy, it's changing everything.
Yeah. Yeah, just let it just like be slow and gentle, and let it and feel like this sense of unfolding.
That's
Yeah.
exactly that's exactly
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
it's.
and then it's real easeful. And see, the other thing about going back and forth, this going back and forth, capitulating back and forth, like if you identify with, oh, I've come this far, you know, it can have you capitulating back and forth, like going into, oh gosh, now I'm in this despair, now I can't have the peace, you know, when it's always just right now. It's always
Well,
just right now.
well, what I'm noticing is as soon as, like, when something is, something comes out of my mouth that's said to someone or something, I'm noticing the thoughts immediately now. As soon as they say, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that," or, you know, "Why did I say that?" When would all of that shit is recognized
Right.
immediately, and as soon as it's recognized, it's gone.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
dissipates. It dissipates.
Because it's
Com-
meaning. Because you see, when you see it, you see that it's meaningless.
Right,
So
exactly. Exactly.
how
I
can
know
it
it's
keep?
not me. I know it's not me. It's that space. It's that space that's opening up. That's me.
Yeah, it would take you pursuing that thought. It would take you pursuing that thought to keep it around. And
Yeah,
once you see that it's meaningless,
yes.
yeah, you can't pursue it. You just can't. You could say it doesn't resonate for you to pursue
Doesn't
it.
resonate. Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've never felt so relaxed. So, I don't know,
Okay.
calm.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Lori. Good, awesome, and remember, this too shall pass. If
Yeah.
you're feeling calm and relaxed, the opposite is also coming around the corner. So the thing is to be prepared right now, because even the sense of relax, it's just for enjoyment right now. It's not going to be held on to. There comes the upset. The upset arises, and then all it is recognizing that, and it can pass. But if the upset arises, whatever the upset is, and you buy into that means something about you.
Mm,
See, if I say I'm so relaxed, I'm feeling so relaxed, and
mm,
identify with that feeling, then
right.
when the opposite comes around, then I would have to suffer about it because of the
Right.
identity only.
Yeah.
Only because of the identity. And
Right.
without the identity, I could experience relax and just let it let it be what it is. It's going into something. It's always going into something else. It's always moving. The sense of, and here's the thing, the sense of the sense of deep relaxation, it is always like it's flowing. And this is something that has, the way it's come to me for a lot of years. It's like it's flowing underneath all of the delusion on the surface. Like, this makes me sad. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is bad. This is good. It's like there's a river flowing underneath the surface, and that's where we really are, is one way of saying it. It's like, what you could say, that we're from there witnessing these things appearing to happen above, like kind of on a screen that's being watched as we're floating.
Right.
See? And we can always be there beneath, sort of beneath all of the delusional ideas that make up so-called reality, realistic reality. See? And from that space, our creativity is inspired. Our creativity is always being used. It's either being used by one teacher or another. It's being used by, you could say, to use A Course in Miracles terms, the Holy Spirit. Or it's being used by the ego to manifest in the world. And creativity, you can say we are creativity. So which teacher appeals to me right now? That's all that counts. Which teacher appeals to me? Is it the one? Is it the one who knows without a doubt that I'm guiltless, sinless, unchanging? Or is it the one who made me into something?
No, I don't.
Yeah, which teacher do I want? That's all.
The one that made me into something is the one that's going to be attached to an outcome of that creativity.
Yeah, exactly. The creativity just can't be itself,
So that's pretty apparent here.
Yeah, it becomes, see, once it becomes your experience, no one can tell you otherwise.
Yeah.
And once it becomes your experience, you have no need for argument either, because they could have their truth about who you are or whatever.
Right.
They have their truth about, and it doesn't make you love them any less.
No.
It doesn't make you go, oh, I just need to be away from that person because they're unspiritual. What?
Because you see the innocence in the.
Yeah, it's so innocent. It's so sweet. It's almost like a child. It's just like, it's so sweet. It's like, no, I need this suffering right now.
Right. Right.
Okay. You can have that. It's all right. Is Holly there?
Yes, Holly's there.
Oh, hi, Holly. Hi. Aloha. Oh, thank you, ladies. I love you so much.
I just picked her up from Florida today. Well, at the airport. I didn't go to Florida to get her.
I saw her join all by herself last week.
Yeah, she did. From Florida.
I actually see Holly. Who the heck is that? Oh, that's the Holly that always comes on with Lori. All right. Well, I'm gonna go to Yulia's hand now, and her voice and spirit. Thank you. I love you. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Aloha. Okay, Yulia. Aloha.
Aloha, aloha. I finally made it. And
Yay.
listened to all your recorded sessions too.
Did it take Lava Flow to get you on?
Yes.
Isn't that fun?
I love it.
Look how the lava brought us all together. We're all here.
I'm pretty fascinated by it. That's true. I'm feeling guilty about not feeling sorry enough sometimes, and that's the thing. I know it's silly.
I know people really go through that. I see that. Like, even, if there's this idea, like, I'm supposed to feel sorry, it's like, I'm supposed to feel sorry about something. And it's like, that idea is my idea. It's not anyone else's idea. That idea that I'm supposed to feel sorry for something is my idea, If that idea arises, I have authority over it. I decide whether that idea is meaningful to me or not.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
In a nutshell.
You answered so many of the questions already before I even asked. I mean, I
Oh,
don't really, I'm really not supposed to have questions. I just want to talk to you because it's awesome.
oh,
I
oh,
do, I can ask a question though.
do you have any more, or are you all
No,
good?
no, no, I do have something that, I mean,
Okay.
I kind of, again, I kind of feel like I already know everything and I should be able to answer it myself.
That's awesome.
But
I
I
love
want
that.
to bring it to you because it's even better that way.
Okay. You know what? You know what, Yulia? Do it how it's the most fun for you.
Yes,
About someone else,
exactly,
do it how
exactly.
it's the most fun. You have fun talking to me? Talk
Yes,
to me.
absolutely. I'm loving it, loving it. It's like so amazing. Uh, so you talked earlier about talking to a kid, how he's speaking your truth, you know, and other people are speaking their truth. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. I wish I heard this earlier. I wish I had that clarity earlier, you know, because
Aw.
I still run into stuff with my kids, and now they don't live with me anymore, but one of them is sick, not doing good, and now I have this story where I want to help you. You should do this and you should do that. And it's so obvious that you should do this. And how are you not getting it? And why are you so rude to me and you reject everything and you think that everything I say is stupid? And I know exactly, you know, how silly that is, the whole story.
You know the whole thing. We've had plenty of combos about that.
Yes, yes, but I do find myself caught up in it.
Well, you are look at that, finding yourself caught up in it is like you are pursuing that in the moment. You know, you are not caught up in it really. We've talked about this before. You are not caught up in it. You could say you're experiencing it, as in the structure of thought. That's your perceiving body getting caught up in it. You take a little step back and it's all different. You can watch this perceiving body get caught up and it's okay. It's okay. Look, the perceiving body is getting caught up right now. As it's getting caught up, as even these words are being spoken out of your mouth to your son and telling your son that, you know, how like basically, you know, the way you're doing it is wrong.
Should.
Yeah.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Should.
Shooting on
Yeah.
yourself, shooting on anybody else.
Yeah, yeah. Even as that's arising, even that as that's coming out, you know, if you recognize what it is, if you're willing to recognize what it is and not identify with the person that's doing it as the person that's doing it, see, there's no person getting caught up. That person is an illusion. That's not you. So if you think you're caught up in it, then you're caught up in it. If you realize that what thinks you're caught up in it isn't you, you're not caught up in it, even though it looks like you are.
Perfect.
Isn't and all kinds of healing will take place in that. Very
Yes.
simple. Very simply, be willing to experience the experience. Be in the experience. Be natural. Just watch what comes out of your mouth. Just watch and experience it. That's all.
I feel like I'm still attached to an idea that it's true that some things should be different. That's why that's happening. Like he's living
Well,
in
that's
a
a
really
feeling.
dirty place, really
You like
dirty, like
well,
scary dirty.
you just said I feel like. So that
Uh-huh.
should be a clue for you that it's a feeling. What is a
Mhm.
feeling? Do we remember what a feeling is? A feeling is a reflection of belief.
Mhm. So
I
I have a
feel
belief. Yeah.
it's a reflection of a belief. It's a reflection
Mhm.
of the past. You could say beliefs are built up. Beliefs are built up by believing the same thought over and over again. That's what the
Mhm.
feeling is. So you say, I feel like it's like this, and then you take that as true. But all it is a reflection of a belief. It is not true. When you take it as true, then you demonstrate that that belief is true in the world, and it seems to create effects that that is in fact true.
Mhm.
See?
Yeah, it's so difficult with that one though. Like living in total filth and dirt and being sick, as far
Are you
as
talking about your,
stomach sick
are you
about my
talking,
kid,
you
about
talking,
my kid. Yeah, like how could that not be something not how could that be something not to believe? You know? I'm
well,
having a hard time with that, even though I do realize that
here,
everything is ultimately not to
okay.
be believed.
So it's realistic that your kid lives in filth, and that's your interpretation. That
I
is
saw
not
it.
everyone's interpretation. I promise you. I have plenty of friends. I have plenty of friends. I have one friend. I go. How do you do it without a washer and dryer? He's like, well, I just really don't have a need for clean clothes. And I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, okay. Not a problem. It's not a problem. And in fact, I know the dude exceptionally well. He comes to Wisdom Dialogues every week. If he hears this, and he might, he's not. I don't think he's on right now. He'll know who he is. And I hug him, and he doesn't even stink. It's like we just make up things. We just make them up. Another person might hug him, and he might seem stinky to them. I don't know, but
Hmm.
it's like, oh, it's it's like we just interpret energy. It's like you're just interpreting that room is a mess. That is not even true. You're just making that up. It
That's so
doesn't
hard though. I mean, I walked in there and it was like scary, literally scary.
well,
I don't talk
yeah,
about the
have you,
stinky clothes. He did
okay,
stink.
okay, okay. Have you been to Universal Studios? Ever been to
Yes,
Universal Studios? It's
yes.
like that. It's realistic. It's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Universal Studios, you're walking through and they got all the props. The props are all this messy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all just to get a sensation. It's all just to get an experience for you. It's all just to
Uh-huh.
get a feeling for you. So what's the problem?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Ay, 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 ay. Something in me doesn't want to accept it, and I'm laughing at it. Like, no, 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 filth is bad, bad, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and your kid is you. There's only one of us. Remember, there's only one of us, and so
Uh,
your kid that you're perceiving, that is you. It's like saying to yourself, you're dirty.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's like saying you're dirty, and that's the ego coming up hard. And if you would be willing to experience that experience and recognize what's really going on there, what kind of an ego attack is underway at that moment, you can totally see through it and not need to do anything about it. You know, you could
Mm-hmm.
just go on your merry way and maybe like pick up a hobby or something.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it sounds like that attention can go towards something that you can have a lot of fun with. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that same attention that you're using to project about your son being messy can be redirected toward having a kick-ass time.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time again. It's like, oh shit, I'm being a bad mother, a bad person, and I like don't care. Like I should just pretend like it's not happening. Like he's not
Well,
sick. He's not constantly sick, and that I haven't seen that like filth, and I
well,
shouldn't
you
care.
could
That's
you
the
could
story
throw
that comes up.
Julia, you could throw those out, all different scenarios, all day long, all different reasons, all different things way you're having a hard time. That's I've heard a lot. You're having a hard time, but you know, just admit that you actually don't want to see in that moment. And
Mm.
if you're and right now, if you're believing that you actually have a hard time that you don't want to see in this moment either.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you believe right now that you're having a hard time, then that's where your reality. That's your choice. You can believe that. You can, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can have a hard time. See, a hard time is also a concept.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if you don't buy into it, you're gonna see how easeful and graceful it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're all the same. That's the thing. This is what I see after talking with you for a while. I don't know how long it's been, but several times, is that this I'm having a hard time thing is like a being used as a veil. It's
Mm-hmm.
like identifying with, I just need one more thing. I just need to talk to Hope one more time.
Aha.
It's like, yeah, you don't. That's why I'm saying do what you do for fun. You don't
Uh-huh.
need don't really need to talk to anyone. You don't need any healing. You don't need anything like that. You're not having a hard time, but you want to believe you're having a hard time, so that's your experience.
Uh-huh.
Okay? There's a feeling that comes along with the thought that I'm having a hard time, and that feeling reflects the belief that a hard time for one is even possible. And so if you would be willing to get out of your mind and stop thinking about all the scenarios and pay attention to what's going on, just focus your attention on what that feeling is. What is that? What is that sense? Because that is coming from, it's a body sense.
Body sense.
Yep, the body sense. So all these thoughts, you don't need to work them all out. You don't need to process them, all of them, each of them, one by one like that. Just see each one. Just see each one for what it is as rising, and step into your body. Just put your attention. You just could just focus your attention. And you know, I've told people before, start out with a little part of your body. Like for me, I started out with my toes. Is throughout the day, I would put my attention on my toes and just notice how they feel. You know, there's a sensation going on there. And then you know, it gets to the point where my whole body is super sensitive. It's super sensitive to energy, so I can see exactly where the resonance is. And then that way I can think, you know, I can move effortlessly because I'm not really moving. I know it's effortless only because I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I gave an example earlier where I was doing some cleaning in the room, and all of a sudden there was this thought I wasn't doing it right. I wasn't cleaning right. And it's like, whoa. And it's just like it's a devotion. It's a devotion to what the truth is, a re-devotion to it. It's like, oh, that's just really not true. That doesn't say anything about me. And it's back to just watching how it moves. And when there's watching how it moves, it's kind of like a dance. And when I say it, I'm talking about the body. It's kind of like it's dancing, and you just watching how it moves. It's smooth, it's gentle, it's loving. Okay.
Wow. It's amazing.
Yay.
Yeah, it's like, it's so funny. I sit there and I think, oh my God, I got it. I totally see it. And then, oh, what am I going to be talking to Hope about?
Yeah. And you don't have to have anything to talk to me about. You don't have
But
to.
I want to.
If you want to talk to me and you just want to shoot the shit with me, give me a call. Okay?
Ask about the lava and how it's going, right?
Yeah. Ask me about, well, you know, you want to talk story with me? Just give me a call. You don't have to make up shit to talk to me.
I'm not really making it up either. You know, that's just a funny thought that came up, right?
Well, yeah, and the next time you find yourself in a situation, in an experience where it's like where it's like it seems like, what was it again? It's I'm having a hard time with this. That's it. I'm having a hard time with this. You find yourself in, I'm having a hard time with this.
Mm-hmm.
Remember our conversation.
Yeah.
And laugh.
Nobody's having a hard time with anything. There's no hard time.
No hard time with anything.
I noticed that when you have those body felt sensations that feel uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and you want to go into hard time about it, here's what I've noticed about that is to just sit with it and don't do anything about it. We tend to either want to run away from it, or we want to tend to figure it out or make it right or make some kind of decision about it, either for ourselves or for somebody else. But really it's just something, it's a sensation that's happening in our body. Here's what I've noticed. If you wait about 90 seconds, it's like a wave, you know, that comes in the ocean. The waves come and the waves go. And sometimes the little waves just come pitter-patter in, and it's just lapping gently. And sometimes you look out to the ocean, and here comes this huge wave, and your body kind of tenses up. You just kind of like let that wave come, and sometimes it's really, really big. The truth of it is, the max time, even if it's like some heavy drama, somebody's been in a war zone, been shot at or something. 90 seconds. Is the longest it lasts. So you can count on it. It doesn't last a whole lifetime. It's not going to put you under for a week or a month or in the psych ward. You can just sit with it for a certain amount of time and let just time pass until the wave comes, washes over you, washes through you. Does it say it does recede? It always recedes.
Yes.
It never just if you resist it, go into resistance and try and make some big story about it. I'm really having a hard time. Like, oh, you can hold on to it.
Yeah.
Then you can make it last longer than 90 seconds if you want.
Yeah.
But if you just sit with it, the wave comes. 90 seconds, intense as it is, you just sit. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to make any decisions, choices, nothing. Except if you're in the path of the larva, it's smart to just, get up and slowly move. Get your 10-year-old, perhaps a few minutes, but you did it in full consciousness and full awareness. What I'm talking about more is that kind of feeling that you have when you feel like you should do something, should do this and should do that, he should do that, he should do this, all these shoulds, and it creates that really anxiety in your body, that tensing up of your shoulders, your gut tensions up, your back tensions up.
It's all the cause of dis-ease too.
90 seconds, that's it.
Oh, so nice.
That's the good news.
And then the way
that was beautiful. Thank you. I don't know the name of the other wise person here.
Big Island people, baby. We got some peeps around
The lava people. That's what I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, the lava people. You don't hear a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, we buy some property and use it for as long as Pele lets us," you know.
Yep. I read about that now. It's another thing. I find myself compulsively just reading shit, just reading, doing something, And if not that, sometimes compulsively eating or something like that.
Yeah, you're distracting yourself.
Yeah, and then I start feeling guilty because I know I'm distracting myself, and it doesn't get any better because all I do is beat myself up, and it's like.
Julia, it's all thought though. It's all.
I want to do it. I just want to do it.
It's the same thing though. It's all thought. You just keep on biting into the same. There's no difference between all these things. There's no difference between them. They're just all thought. They're nothing. They're all nothing. So it's like you just watch when your energy gets worked up. Da da da. Even when you're talking about it, it's like da 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 da. Watch when your energy gets worked up like that, and let that be like a red flag to say, pay attention, Yulia, pay attention, and watch how it is in the body. Watch how that energy sensation plays through the body, because in doing that, that's where the healing takes place. But you have a habit of making the thoughts real instead, and you've been sleepily following that habit. You can make the choice in any given moment to step off that script, and everything will be different. There's just a fear of it. It's it's a stand, kind of almost like standing firm in what you know is true. I've experienced like that, like in standing firm in what I know is true. I've also experienced as almost like a leap forward in expressing, where it felt like there was some kind of a veil or something, some kind of blockade preventing me from expressing in a certain way. Like the expression of, you know what, actually, I'm not a gardener. Instead of being afraid to say that, actually, that's not me. It's just like, that's like a stepping forward and saying your truth. See, when you go and tell your kids how they should be living their life, you're also expressing your truth. That's your truth. It has nothing to do with them. How they take it is up to them. They may be taking it like it is your truth and it has no effect, or they may be taking it like developing a guilty consciousness for themselves. It's up to them. Whatever it is, whatever you're doing, it's always a gift. None of it's wrong. You can do it that way all you want. And you can experience the effects of that. And I think you know the effects of it, because that's what you've been experiencing the whole time. So it's kind of like, if that hasn't been working for you so far, then maybe it's time to try something else. See?
Yeah. Delve into the silent realm. The silence. Maybe that's why everybody is so attracted to the silent time.
Mhm.
If we dive into the silence, it's really not that silent in there because there's all this chatter,
Yeah.
chatter going on. But it's the same thing with the waves. You just could listen to this thought come and just sit with the thought until that kind of like subsides. And then the next one comes.
Yeah.
And then they'll keep coming until, as long as there's no reaction, no resistance to it, pretty soon it's like, wow, something kind of expanding starting to happen. It's like real silence. And when you experience the silence, it's like, oh, this is what they're talking about. Except you're not saying that because you're so busy doing nothing.
Yeah. And you know, it was for me, I was like, I'm just going to sit still in silence until I can carry that with me. Just going to sit still in silence until I can carry that around, you know, because even just sitting there, it's like all these thoughts are going, you know, if you take time, especially like an hour long time, all these thoughts are going and playing. And if there's just this space for them to play out without taking any action on them or trying to resist them, there's just a space for them to play out right there in the consciousness, everything gets healed. And so why not have that all the time? Just let it be a space for them to just say what they need to say and move on. But you know, it's not so much a mental thing as it is a feeling thing. Because whatever they're saying, that's the projection of the feeling. So knowing the order, again, I'm going to say this again. We did it on last week, but I'd like to say it again. Knowing the order of things. What's at the top? Belief. Belief projects feeling, projects thought patterns. Belief projects feelings. Feeling projects thought patterns. Okay? Did you post last week's? Oh, I better check on that.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I have a cute little 18-year-old dude doing it for me. Sometimes he parties instead. We'll see. I'll check it out. So yeah, that order is really important, because knowing that order in this, because seeing when you have an upset feeling, recognizing that that's a projection of a belief. That's a projection of a belief. So the thought pattern that's arising now that you can see crossing your awareness is projected out of the feeling. When you're seeing it like that, it just, the whole thing becomes so interesting. Everything becomes so interesting. It's like, oh, I don't have to re-believe that thought is just a projection of the feeling. I don't have to believe that thought and therefore reinforce the belief that caused the feeling in the first place. Like understanding cause and effect. If we pursue the thought that's projected out of the feeling, that reinforces the belief that came before the feeling. It's a cause of feeling. See? So it's like when you're standing there in that, and that's where your power is, and you know it, then nothing can adversely affect you. It makes you invulnerable to the world.
Beautiful.
So hooray! I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you. Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So a couple updates. Miracle Botanicals is currently not able to send any orders from our website. Okay. Well, you can place orders on our website, and when we're back up and running, then we'll ship them out. Our trajectory for being back up and running may be as early as Monday, this coming Monday. No promises there. That doesn't mean like if you ordered your money's lost or anything like that. Anytime you want to refund, send an email. Someone will give you a refund and cancel your order, okay? So, and you may even be able to cancel it online. I don't know. I know my website's pretty bitchin', but I don't know how bitchin' it is. So if you know how to do that, you can do that. And it'll refund your order too, because it hasn't shipped yet. If you ordered anytime after Thursday at 9 a.m., okay? miraclebotanicals.com. You can also get Miracle Botanicals essential oils directly from Amazon.com, because before we left, we had thousands and thousands of units in Amazon fulfillment centers. They'll be able to send it out to you right away. So you can use that avenue if you're looking for Miracle Botanicals. Yeah, the best essential oils ever. No, I'm not biased. I'm smelling integrity right now. Anastasia, she's here. Anastasia on Facebook, when I said we had to evacuate, we got evacuated due to lava. My friend Anastasia said, evacuate the integrity. This blend. She was the first person to get it because she heard about it on Wisdom Dialogues, and we actually made a special one just for her. This is just my blending bottle that I have. So yeah, miraclebotanicals.com. Wisdom Dialogues will not be broadcasting the next 2 Tuesdays because I will be partying it up with my family. That's the way it is. That was way beyond what I expected from oil. Oh, nice, Anastasia. That was yes, I'm telling you. People who know. I just got a big long note from thank you, Christine. I love you. Thank you for coming. Just got a big long note from my mom telling me how grateful she is for these essential oils, how much they're helping her. I know. And it's like, I don't even say that because I want to sell them, because I don't want to sell them. It's just the way it is. I happen to be doing an essential oil business with the best essential oils in the world. Hooray. So, the other thing, Wisdom Dialogues, it's not going to be on the next 2 Tuesdays because I'll be on the mainland. I said that already, but I'm saying it again just because I love you and
Partying it up
want
with
you
your
to know.
family.
Partying it up with my family, big time. Yeah, who knows where I'll be on Tuesdays at 3? I have no idea. But yeah, when I come back, we're gonna have a kick-ass time just like we always do. And if you'd like to join me live, go to Facebook.com/groups/Wisdom Dialogues. If you join that group, you'll be included in my invitations, okay? And then if you would like to just email me, tell me you'd like to be on my email list. That's the only way I really have right now. hope@miraclebotanicals.com. You can do that. Just say, I'd like to be on your email list. And then I'll put you on my email list. And then you're going to get announcements of all the Wisdom Dialogues that come up. Yay. And you'll still be on there even if the link changes. Okay, everyone, I love you so much. Thank you so much. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Aloha and a hui ho. Don't we have fun? Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Awesome. Yay.
I love the 90-second rule.
Yes.
I love that rule.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I heard that from Saraswati Bhagavati came with Guruji here.